Imagine, just imagine working your whole life, sacrificing everything
Yeah.
to give your kids a better future
Right.
than you had,
Absolutely.
only to find out they've been lying to you
Oh, wow.
for years.
Yeah.
And then you imagine that betrayal
Oh, gosh.
escalating to a horrifying murder plot.
Wow.
That's the reality for the Pan family.
I can't even imagine.
It's unsettling.
Yeah.
We're going to take a deep dive into the Jennifer Pan case today.
Okay.
This story twists and turns
Yeah.
from seemingly ordinary family life
Right.
into a shocking tale of deception, resentment, and ultimately violence.
It's hard to wrap your head around something like that.
It really is.
It makes you question what goes on behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
Even in families that seem,
Perfect, right?
good, yeah.
You have this image of a successful,
Right.
hardworking immigrant family
Yeah.
living the Canadian dream, right?
Yeah.
But beneath the surface,
Right.
there's this web of lies and simmering resentment that have been building for years.
Just years and years.
And the Pan family, they fit that immigrant success story
I do.
to a T.
Yeah.
Han and Bic Pan worked tirelessly at an automotive parts manufacturer
Right.
to give their kids opportunities that they never had.
To give them a leg up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They bought a beautiful home
Uh-huh.
in a nice area,
Yeah.
the kind of neighborhood that whispers, "We made it."
Exact.
They instilled in their children
Yeah.
the importance of education,
Of course.
hard work,
Right.
traditional values.
Mhm.
But for Jennifer, their daughter,
Yeah.
the pressure to live up to those expectations
Mm-hmm.
became a crushing weight.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes,
It's
when
awesome.
you have those expectations.
Yeah.
And this is where the concept of tiger parenting comes in, right? It's
Right.
a style common in some Asian cultures
Right.
that emphasizes strict rules,
Mm-hmm.
high expectations,
Yeah.
a lot of parental control.
A lot of contrast.
And
Yeah.
while the intention is often to push children toward excellence,
Sure.
it can sometimes have the opposite effect.
Oh, absolutely.
It can lead to anxiety,
Right.
rebellion,
Yeah.
and in Jennifer's case,
Yeah.
a descent into a dangerous spiral of lies.
A dark path.
A dark path.
So picture this.
Okay.
Jennifer's brother, Felix,
Mm-hmm.
is thriving.
Okay.
He's studying mechanical engineering
Right.
at a prestigious university,
Good for him.
a path their father envisioned for him.
Okay.
But Jennifer,
Yeah.
while talented in music
Mm.
and other areas, she struggles to meet her parents' academic standards.
I see.
And the pressure mounts.
Right.
And instead of seeking help or
Yeah.
confiding in her parents,
Uh-huh.
she starts creating this facade. She builds this fake life.
Wow.
And that initial decision to forge her report cards,
Oh, wow.
it marks a pivotal point, I think.
Yeah, it's the first thread pulled loose in
Yeah.
a sweater that eventually unravels completely,
Mhm. Wow, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So she becomes trapped in this web of her own making,
Right.
each lie adding another layer of pressure.
Yeah, and complexity
Yeah.
to her life.
It's almost like she built a house of cards,
Mm-hmm.
knowing it could collapse at any moment.
Right. And it's just a matter of time before it does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And her deceptions,
Right.
they didn't stop with the grades.
Uh-huh.
Jennifer fell for a boy named Daniel Wong
Okay.
in high school.
Right.
But her parents had a strict no dating rule.
Ah.
So the relationship became another secret,
Uh-huh.
another source of tension and rebellion.
Right.
So that forbidden romance,
Yeah.
it adds fuel to the fire, I think.
Yeah. It does. It really does.
Jennifer is craving freedom,
Of course.
connection,
Yeah.
a life outside of her parents' rigid control.
A life of her own.
Yeah. But
Right.
instead of open communication,
Yeah.
she chooses deception,
Uh-huh.
further distancing herself from her family.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then things escalate even further.
Oh, no.
Jennifer's acceptance to Ryerson University
Okay.
is revoked
Mm-hmm.
because she failed calculus.
Oh, wow.
But instead of admitting this to her parents,
Yeah.
she concocts an elaborate lie.
Oh, my gosh.
She fakes an acceptance letter,
Wow.
convinces them she's on track
Uh-huh.
for a pharmacology degree,
All right.
her father's chosen path for her.
Oh, wow.
And it's a desperate move.
It is.
And it speaks to how deeply ingrained the fear
Mm-hmm.
of disappointing her parents
Oh,
had become.
fear was just, like, eating away at her.
It was consuming her.
Yeah.
This elaborate fabrication.
Right.
It consumes her life.
It takes over. Yeah.
She buys textbooks.
Wow.
She studies at the library
To keep it all going?
to maintain the charade.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have to wonder, if she was capable of that level of dedication to a lie,
Mm.
what could she have achieved if she'd channeled that energy differently?
I know. It's just, it makes you think, you know?
It really does.
If she had put that effort into something positive,
Yeah,
imagine what she could have accomplished.
exactly.
Yeah.
For 2 years, Jennifer lives this double life.
Wow.
She pretends to attend Ryerson,
Uh,
even working part-time jobs,
right.
to make it all seem real.
To make it believable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she transfers to the University of Toronto,
Oh, wow.
keeping the ruse going, even faking a graduation ceremony.
Oh, my God.
The lengths she goes to are astounding.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
But even the most elaborate illusions
Right.
eventually start to crack.
Of course, yeah.
Her parents discover she hasn't been volunteering
Uh-huh.
at Sick Kids Hospital,
Oh.
as she'd claimed.
Oh.
The house of cards starts to wobble.
Right. The truth starts to come out.
It does.
Yeah.
And when confronted,
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer admits to the Sick Kids lie
Right.
and the fake University of Toronto degree.
Okay.
But she still clings to the fabrication
Uh-huh.
about attending Ryerson.
Wow. So she's still trying to hold on
She's still holding on.
to some of those lies.
Yeah.
Even though she's been caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our parents are devastated,
Of course. I mean, their trust is just shattered.
completely shattered.
Yeah.
They react by tightening their grip on her life,
Okay.
taking away her phone and laptop,
Wow.
basically putting her under house arrest.
So they're trying to regain control.
They're trying to regain control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's understandable,
It
but
is understandable.
it's also, it's
Yeah.
a tough situation.
It's a pressure cooker.
It is, yeah.
Her parents are trying to salvage what they can
Right.
of the life they thought their daughter had.
The life they thought she was living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they resort to even stricter control.
Mm-hmm.
And Jennifer, backed further into a corner,
Right.
she sees her carefully constructed world
Yeah.
crumbling around her.
It's all falling apart.
It is.
Yeah.
It's around this time that Daniel,
Okay.
worn down by the constant lies and pressure
Yeah.
from Jennifer's parents,
Uh-huh.
breaks up with her.
Oh.
It's another blow to Jennifer,
Of course.
especially when she finds out
Yeah.
he's moved on to someone new.
Oh.
Jealousy and desperation set in, and her thoughts take a deep turn.
Oh, boy.
So Jennifer, seeking solace
Mm,
and perhaps a twisted form of validation,
yeah.
reconnects with an old friend
Okay.
who had once shared a disturbing fantasy
Oh.
about killing his own father.
That's a red flag.
It is.
Yeah.
That conversation plants a seed in Jennifer's mind, a seed that will grow into a horrifying plan.
It's amazing how, sometimes
Yeah.
a seemingly innocuous conversation can
Right.
have such a profound impact.
Ripple effect.
Yeah, a ripple effect.
So the idea of removing her parents,
Wow.
the perceived obstacles to her happiness and freedom,
Right.
begins to take root.
Uh-huh.
It starts with just her father,
Okay.
but soon expands to include her mother as well.
So it escalates.
It escalates.
Yeah.
Driven by a desire to start fresh with Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps fueled by the prospect
Yeah.
of inheriting her parents' wealth,
Uh-huh.
Jennifer begins to hatch this deadly plot.
Wow. That's
It's a chilling transition.
it is.
From years of elaborate lies to the
Uh.
contemplation of murder.
Yeah.
It speaks to the dangerous consequences
Absolutely.
of unchecked resentment
Yeah.
and the seductive allure of a quick fix,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how horrific that fix might be.
It seems like an easy solution. But the consequences are just unimaginable.
They are.
Yeah.
So her first attempt is almost amateurish.
Okay.
She tries to hire someone
Uh-huh.
to kill her father
Right.
in a workplace parking lot,
Wow.
even paying a down payment.
She's serious.
She is.
Yeah.
But that plan falls apart.
Okay.
Then she reconnects with Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
and together they concoct a much more sinister scheme.
Oh, boy.
They'll hire professional hitmen
Wow.
to murder both her parents.
That's just chillin'.
It is.
To think about.
Yeah. The level of premeditation here is truly disturbing.
It is, yeah.
This isn't a crime of passion.
Right.
It's a carefully planned,
Yeah.
Cold-blooded plot
Uh-huh.
driven by a twisted mix of freedom, revenge,
Yeah.
and greed.
It's like a recipe for disaster.
It is.
Yeah.
They even get burner phones
Wow.
and use coded language to communicate.
They're really trying to cover their tracks.
They are.
Yeah.
They find their hitmen.
Okay.
Through a series of connections,
Uh-huh.
Lenford Crawford,
Mm-hmm.
who went by the street name Homeboy,
Okay.
agrees to carry out the murders for $10,000.
Wow. They're putting a price on human life.
They are.
Yeah.
It's just horrifying to think about.
It is.
Putting a price tag on human life,
Yeah.
bargaining for the murder of Jennifer's parents.
Like it's some sort of business deal.
Like it's a transaction.
Yeah. It's just, it reveals a complete lack of empathy.
Yes.
And a warped sense of morality.
It does.
Yeah.
They set the date
Okay.
for November 8th, 2010.
Wow.
On that night,
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer is at home with her parents.
Okay.
Around 10:00 p.m.,
Right.
she gets a call from Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
followed by text messages containing the phrase VIP access.
That's the signal.
It's the signal
Yeah.
for the hitmen to move in.
Wow.
Jennifer has already unlocked the front door.
She's an accomplice.
She is.
Yeah.
This detail is crucial.
It is.
It shows that Jennifer was actively involved,
Yeah. Right.
not just a passive bystander.
She's facilitating the hitman's access
She's no home.
to her parents.
She's an accomplice every step of the way.
Yeah, she's part of this.
So 3 men,
Okay.
Lenford Crawford,
Mm-hmm.
David Milvagnum,
Okay.
and Eric Carty,
All right.
enter the house and confront her parents.
Wow.
Han is forced out of bed,
Oh my gosh.
and both he and Bick are taken to the basement.
It's like something out of a nightmare.
It is.
Yeah.
Bick pleads for her daughter's life,
Oh no.
and the intruders assure her
Uh-huh.
that Jennifer will be unharmed.
Wow.
Then shots ring out.
Oh gosh.
The brutalities,
It's hard to even imagine.
Bick is shot multiple times,
Wow.
including a fatal shot to the back of the neck.
Oh my goodness.
Han is shot in the face.
Oh no.
It's a level of violence that suggests a callous disregard
right.
for human life.
Yeah, a complete lack of respect for life.
Immediately, Jennifer calls 911,
Okay.
feigning panic and distress.
Right.
In the background, you can hear Han,
Yeah.
who miraculously survived,
Wow.
screaming as he discovers his wife's body.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking.
It's a chilling recording.
Yeah, that 911 call becomes a key piece of evidence.
It does.
Yeah.
While Jennifer's performance is convincing
Right.
on the surface,
Uh-uh.
inconsistencies emerge
Okay.
upon closer listening.
Such as.
Well, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
she claims her father ran outside after being shot.
Right.
It raises suspicion.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he check on his daughter first?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
Jennifer tells the police that she was tied up
Mm-hmm.
and forced to lead the intruders to money.
Okay.
But things don't add up.
Right.
There's no sign of forced entry.
Mm-hmm.
No valuables are taken.
And Jennifer herself is completely unharmed.
Completely unharmed.
That's suspicious.
The police start to get suspicious.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then comes the turning point.
Okay.
Han regains consciousness, and his account blows Jennifer's carefully crafted story to pieces.
Wow.
He tells the police that Jennifer wasn't tied up
Oh my gosh.
and that he saw her interacting calmly
With one of the intruders.
with one of the intruders.
Wow.
It's a bombshell revelation.
It is.
The police bring Jennifer in
Okay.
for a grueling 9-hour interrogation.
Uh-huh.
Finally, she cracks.
Wow.
She confesses to being involved in the plot,
Wow.
but tries to spin a new narrative.
Uh-huh.
She claims it was a suicide for hire scheme gone wrong,
Oh, wow.
that she wanted to end her own life.
Okay.
But there was a misunderstanding,
Uh-huh.
and the hitmen targeted her parents instead.
Oh my gosh.
It's a classic manipulation tactic.
It is.
Shifting blame, playing the victim.
Right, trying to garner sympathy. But
Yeah.
the evidence,
Yeah.
including text messages and phone records, tells
Yeah.
a different story.
A very different story. So armed with Han's testimony
Right.
and Jennifer's confession,
Uh-huh.
the police bring Daniel in for questioning.
Okay.
He admits to his involvement,
Wow.
further solidifying Jennifer's role in the plot.
So they have both of them.
They do.
Yeah.
The hitmen are apprehended,
Okay.
and the case goes to trial.
Wow.
The defense strategy is interesting.
What do?
They try to paint Jennifer
Okay.
as a victim of her parents' strict upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
arguing that she was driven to desperate measures
Right.
by their controlling behavior.
Mm-hmm.
They claim she'd reached a breaking point
Okay.
and made a terrible decision.
So they're trying to get the jury to sympathize with her?
They are.
Yeah.
But the prosecution presents a mountain of evidence,
Right.
text messages detailing the plan, phone records showing communication with the hitmen,
Okay.
witness testimonies contradicting Jennifer's claims
Yeah.
of being tied up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a compelling case,
It sounds like it.
despite the defense's attempts to evoke sympathy. The evidence points to a clear pattern of manipulation
Yeah.
and a calculated plan
Uh-huh.
to eliminate her parents.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, the jury sees through her facade
They do. They
Yeah.
see what she's trying to do.
after a 10-month trial.
Wow, that's a long trial.
It was Jennifer, Daniel, Lenford, and David
Yeah.
are all found guilty of first-degree murder
Wow.
and sentenced to life in prison,
With no chance of parole.
with no chance of parole for 25 years.
25 years.
Eric Carty, tried separately,
Okay.
receives an 18-year sentence,
Okay.
but later dies in prison.
Oh, wow.
So severity of the sentences
Yeah.
reflects the gravity of the crime.
Right. The judge and jury
Yeah.
recognized that this wasn't just a momentary lapse in judgment. It was
Right.
a cold-blooded, meticulously planned murder
Yes.
orchestrated by a daughter who felt entitled to a different life.
Regardless of the cost.
Regardless of the cost, yeah.
The aftermath is devastating.
Of course it is.
Han, physically and emotionally scarred,
Right.
is left to grieve the loss of his wife
Yeah.
and grapple with the ultimate betrayal
Mm-hmm.
by his own child.
It's hard to imagine
It is.
what he must be going through.
It's unfathomable.
Yeah.
Jennifer's brother, Felix,
Okay.
distances himself, moving away
Right.
to rebuild his life far from the shadow of this tragedy.
It's a stark reminder
It is.
of the ripple effects of such a crime.
The surviving family members
Right.
aren't just dealing with the loss of a loved one.
Uh-huh.
Their sense of trust, their foundation of family
Yeah.
is irrevocably shattered.
It's like their whole world has been turned upside down.
It has been.
Yeah.
And just when it seemed like the case was closed, a stunning development.
Oh, wow.
In 2023,
Okay.
Jennifer, Daniel, Lenford, and David
Uh-huh.
are all granted a new trial.
Mm.
The Ontario Appeals Court
Okay.
rules that the trial judge made an error
What kind of error?
by not giving the jury the options of second-degree murder
Okay.
and manslaughter verdicts.
So they felt that the jury wasn't given all the information they needed
That's right.
to make a proper decision.
It's a twist that throws the whole case
Right.
back into the legal arena,
Yeah.
raising questions
Yeah.
about the potential for errors
Within the justice system.
within the justice system
Yeah.
and the possibility that a new trial
Right?
could lead to a very different outcome.
A very different outcome. Yeah.
So what does this mean for Jennifer and her accomplices?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's a waiting game.
Right.
There's no set timeline for the retrial,
Uh-huh.
and it could be a long process.
Yeah. These things can take a long time.
They can.
Yeah.
Jennifer's lawyer seems confident,
Okay.
arguing that the original conviction wasn't safe
Right?
because the jury wasn't given all the options.
Okay. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
We will.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
It will.
This case really brings to light the complexities of family dynamics,
Absolutely.
the weight of expectations,
Yeah.
and the devastating consequences
Right.
of resentment left to fester.
It's a cautionary tale.
It is.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions
It's about justice.
about justice.
The possibility of redemption, the seductive power of manipulation.
It does.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this deep dive so compelling.
It is. It really is.
It goes beyond the crime itself,
Right.
delving into the human stories,
Mm-hmm.
the choices we make,
Yeah.
and the far-reaching impact
Because choices have.
those choices have
On everyone involved.
on everyone involved.
Yeah.
It's a story that stays with you long after the episode ends.
It does. It really does.
This case is a stark reminder that even in seemingly perfect families,
Mm.
darkness can lurk beneath the surface.
Again, yeah.
It's a reminder to cherish open communication,
All right.
to value honesty,
Yeah.
and to recognize that the pressure to achieve can sometimes have devastating consequences.
It's a reminder to be aware of the signs
Absolutely.
and to seek help if you need it.
To seek help, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the retrial unfolds.
We will.
Yeah.
But we're left with many questions.
Such as?
Well, was Jennifer a victim of circumstance
Right.
or a master manipulator?
That's a big question.
It is.
Yeah.
Can true justice ever be achieved
Mm.
in such a complex case?
Right.
And perhaps most importantly,
Yeah.
how can we as individuals and as a society work to prevent such tragedies from happening again?
That's the most important question.
It is.
Yeah.
If you are captivated by this deep dive into the dark heart of the Jennifer Pan case,
Yeah.
be sure to subscribe to the deep dive
Rare.
for more in-depth explorations of true crime stories
Right.
that will challenge your perceptions and leave you pondering the complexities of human nature.
That's what we do here.
It is.
Yeah.